lost our minds in the darkness of night. We live to die. We lose our souls every day. We lost our minds. We don't remember what's wrong and what's right. The world is dead but we stay. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon light. We are just shadows. It's supposed to be that we die. It doesn't matter if there is no light anymore, no light anymore. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon light. We lost our minds in the darkness of night. We live to die. We lose our souls every day. We lost our minds. We don't remember what's wrong and what's right. The world is dead but we stay. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light.
All right. Let's get going. Let's get started. We're jumping in here. We'll get this off with a prayer. Heavenly Father, in Jesus' name, we just pray that we just ask that you forgive us our sins. That you just help us with our trades, keep our minds sharp. Make this about you, further in your kingdom. And just ask that you help us with work today, especially with the FileMaker project, that we would be best that we could be, who grow every day. Just get better overall. Amen. All right, let's we did lose a quick trade over here, a little bit. Sort of to be expected, in a sense. Looks like we lost 35 cents, 38 cents or something like that. I don't know what we lost, to be honest. Be like 50 something. Well, that's what we had it at. Let's order history. Okay. I just wanted to complete the challenge. The fee was about 10 cents. Doesn't really tell us what we lost, but it's alright. We actually just wanted to complete a task of ours. Hoping we can get more of them than we lost, and then we will go ahead and sell those eventually. Just call it a day. All right, we do also have work to do. So, oh shoot, we're getting super close to the start of the morning. Let's kick this off. Get our super charts up. Not so much explanation today, since we are a little behind schedule. More in schedule than we normally are, but let's punch through really quick as things are going. We are not getting to watch it this time. I do like being able to watch it. I think it's cool. It's amazing. I have good times, bad times, you know, all that good stuff. Anyways, from here we have from 11 down to here. Bam. We're gonna go ahead and move that up there. We do the is and bam, like that. It was low there, so good there. Was the start, so the top here is right here. Take this, move that. Already lost it. Damn. We're going to come over here, go to the 60. Then we will actually be able to see where it was. Well, we can actually just go back real quick. So, from here, not the right one. This should be there. That was yesterday's. And if anything, so from here all the way here is yesterday's high. I like it. Boom. All right, so that should be it. Looks like we are just started creating our morning get down. I like it. Let's see what the volume is doing. Let's move this down. We're gonna truck along as fast as we can, if possible. Something doesn't make sense. Oh, I got them flopped. That's why. Tripping me out. Oops. Go to the 1 minute. Oh, come on. Bring that up there. We're going to bring that up there. So yesterday's top is here, right? Boom. We'll take that there. We can take that there. Then we take this here. Boom. You guys are set. We're gonna put you back into your 300 tick. Cool. Started out fine. Dude, come on. We have 10. Take you down to the 15-minute. However that runs. Looks like the beginning of the day so far. is undecisive again.
Order filled.
We're gonna sell that. We're gonna gamble the morning opening. Ooh, we will likely lose that trade. Interesting. And
Stop filled.
Stop filled. So we're just gonna go ahead and start down a little bit. It's okay. It's okay. Oh, we should have put it up there. Oh well.
Order filled.
Order filled.
We're gonna put that up there. Oh no, it said no thank you. How much will we be starting down this morning? Oh, looks like we will be starting down a lot. Very much all over the place. Let's check out some economic news this week.
Stop filled.
Stop filled.
So we are going to be down 75 this morning already. Craziness. What you doing? Those were quick gamble trades. Okay, 7 o'clock. Looks like we have Fed Chair Powell's testimony. We've got new home sales coming in, as well as some crude stocks, oils, stocks change, gasoline at 7:30. So crude and gasoline 7:30. We have all this imports at 7:30. It's going to be a crazy morning. Still have a ways to go.
Order filled.
Order filled.
We're gonna go ahead and take that one.
Order filled.
Order filled.
Take 2.
Order
and
filled.
Order
3
filled.
of those. And hope the direction is up. Fudgicles. Look at all that buy pressure. Let's go. Come on. Give me that buy. Give me the buys. Nope. We are going to be down significantly this morning with our gamble trades. We should not have gamble traded that much. No, sir. Give it to me, baby. Come on. Give us the highs. Give us the highs, man. No. Oh, please be movements up. Please be happy movements up. Right there, break to the upside. I like that candle right there. I like it. think we're seeing the tops.
Stop filled.
Stop filled.
I'm scared. Watch is gonna jump up into all times of existences right now just because I sold. It's okay. Oh, of course. See, what did I say? Look at that. That is unfortunate. We would have got, actually, we probably would have took all of that back. No lies. Would have been on the break even. Should have known. But it's okay. Is our sacrifice account? Although we were very, very close to even breakage. We are on the 25th. We get resets on the 2nd or the 1st or something like that. We can check that out here in a sec. On the 2nd, so we have into the 1st, actually to the 30th, so we can try and go hella ham if we wanted to, see if we can pass. What I do think we are going to do now
Order
is go ahead and
filled.
come back
Order
down,
filled.
throughout the range a little bit, maybe halfway. Let's see if we can grab some of that. Let's see what we do. So that is that. We know we have until the 30th, so we have until Monday to pass, or it'll get into Z profits. If not, it's not that big of a deal, in my opinion. So we either gonna get into profits, or we're going to take all the way down. That is the journey. It is what we suspect we would like to do. It continues to rise. Continues to rise. Looks like we're gonna get hit again. Wow. These are not part of my strategies.
Stop filled.
Stop filled.
Okay. Okay.
Order filled.
Order filled.
We're doing it again. Please be at 1. Thank you. we're taking that trade. This is actually a scary trade right here. We
Order
should not be
filled.
taking
Order
a trade.
filled.
Why did we take a short while we've just been getting wrecked going short? That's crazy. So we're hoping that it does the opposite. Not very smart. We are going to hope that I'm correct, that there will be some shorting. I don't think that that's happening. Sweet, we're getting into profit range. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on. No. 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 Let's go. Let's get down to here at least. Come on. Right here. You can do it. I see you. I see you. I see what you got for me. Let's go. Let's make this happen. There we go. There we go. Right there. I need that right there. Give me that. Let's go. Let's go. All the way down. I want to see some goodness right now. Some of the goodness. Give me some of this goodness right here. No, no, retracing. Let's go. All the way down. I want to see you sweep the whole thing all the way down here. That's what we're going to reach for right now. Reaching for the stars. Let's freaking go. No. Get your... Ah! Come on. Oh, look at that. We were doing freaking amazing. Shoot. Shoot to shooty. We need to remember to stay in our normal lane here. Come on. Let's not get wild. Let's see. We would have left it. What would this second one be? Here we go. Drop down. Let's just take a moment. Take a moment. Curious to see what happens right about here right now.
Order
Order
filled.
filled.
I'm going to take this on my nice one right here that we want to pass as well. And hope that we continue downward. It is looking that way. See? Definitely should have stayed in on the other one. we would be so much closer to passing right now. Oh my gosh. Was I not right, or was I not right?
Order
oh
canceled.
My stars. We're good to get out right here. So we would have been, look at that. Look at this craziness. What did I say? What does this even mean right now? Come on. I told you.
Stop filled.
Told
Stop filled.
You didn't want to listen. You didn't want to listen. No, you didn't. You wanted to not listen, and we could be smashing it right now, but no. You don't want to stay in your trades like you're supposed to. But we're going to do this later. I mean, to be fair, we did bring this back right here. We did get a good one on our good trade, on one that we want to pass. All right. Okay. Okay then. Don't want to hear it. Do you not want to hear? No. No, you don't. You're actually starting to take better trades on your sacrifice account than, and you're a little scared of your other one. That's okay though. That's okay, because the goal is to pass this thing. Okay? Without all just, we don't want to hear it. We're going to pass. We're going to pass. I don't want to hear no freaking nothing. Okay? I don't want to hear anything. Don't want to be like, ooh. We're passing. We're passing. That's it. All of these accounts are going to get passed. I don't even care. I don't even care. We're passing. Show. All right, that being said, we do have some work to do as well. So we're also going to jump on that. Oh, shnikes. Cool. Charging away. Okay, so we need that to be charging. Let's get this on, which it is on. Get over to the place that we need to be. All right, so with this, it looks like it did bounce in. Let's see what sort of rejecting or not is going to happen. We are going to closely watch what is happening right here as it reaches the middle of 22520, which is right here. This is the middle zone right here. So we're gonna see what happens in this area to see if we should notice how it's now hitting the 200 EMA of the 300 tick. We bounced up and we're actually hitting the I think these are, this is the 20. So we're gonna see what happens in this area right now. See if anything changes, any craziness. We really do need to get back to using our scripting. Yeah, I think we do. Because basically what we'd like to do is we'd like to get our time zones on one of these, and then we will begin to create our own orbs. Okay, and then we can have our EMAs, on there, but we really want our orbs on there to hit every single time zone, because what we are going to do, we're going to start trading our crypto accounts, and then we want them to be awesome and amazing. We want to be able to trade all time zones and see how that correlates to different markets, as well as just to see like after hours on the NAS and see how that runs. Now it looks like we're starting to hit that resistance there. It does look a little crazy. Let's just kind of see what's happening as far as the volume footprints here. There's a lot of sales happening, and it looks like the buying starting to kick in. So we might be pushing all the way back through to the top. We're gonna go ahead and take this trade right now just to see if that will work out for us. We are hitting the middle zone now, so this could just go the opposite direction. It's okay. We will probably take another buy right here just in case. We're going to say connect. So basically what's happening right now on our other is that we have these up. So we're just going to close these right now because we don't actually need those open. We definitely want to see what's going on here on our side, because it's more important to see on the screens that we're actually trading on. So now we're hitting this zone right here. If we pass this zone, we're probably good to go up. If not, we're probably going to come down, is my suspicion. Doesn't necessarily mean that that is the case, but that could be it. But we're just going to see what happens in this zone. I like it. We will probably target the top around right there. I like that. So that is that. We are going to go ahead and come over here and go to the patient database. We're going to open that. So it looks like it did break above it. So it looks like we're probably pretty good to move that stop loss into that direction. And we will probably go to the top even further, is my suspicion. Overall, I think this is a good place to put a stop loss. It looks like we're hitting some resistance right about here. I'm curious to see. Actually, we probably should have put that trade in here. It's okay. We're kind of curious to see what things look like here. Oh, it looks like we see. So it's a good thing that we didn't jump in. We almost jumped in right now. We almost FOMO'd our trade, to be honest. Not gonna lie, I almost FOMO'd. Jumped in, and that would have been horrible. But we just took a trade. We just took a win again on our sacrifice account. Oh, so back to our layout over here. We're going to close that one. We do have a test one that we are using. And this will become our new one. Actually, very soon. Very soon, very soon, very soon. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think that's the one that's actually working. It is 7 o'clock. We got the news jumping in, I believe, which was Powell, right? If I'm not mistaken. We do got to get over
Crude
here.
oil, as I mentioned, just because of those inventories, that's going to come out in, what's it, half an hour's time. But if I could just look here, simple price action paired with fair value gaps. If we can get a little break above that fair value gap, get close to today's current high, pull back into that fair value gap that then turned from bullish to an inverted fair value gap, then I might go long. I might even be a little bit more conservative to see if I can get a push out of it. Maybe on a smaller time frame, like a 1 minute, see if I can see a bullish candle form if price were to do something like this. Pull back into it, form a bullish type of vibe, and hope for the best. See if price can continue higher. So that's what I'm looking at. Unless price just mucks around in this range, which also happens, and then there'll be no opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm looking at, guys. Not really too much happening on my side. We've got a comment there from Abir. He says, hi. Good morning, Abir. I don't know where you're on which part of the world. Robert, joining us again. Good morning, Robert.
The usual suspect.
Yeah, so let's see. Other than that, you guys have anything else to chat about? Troy, maybe show what's his name, those charts, or unless you got a trade happening, Tiger.
Oh no, I was just going to comment that that's a pretty similar strategy that I used for kind of some penny stock trading a few years ago. Just more that opening range breakout type setup.
Yeah, and you see it works well until it doesn't,
You're right. Well, just like anything.
Yeah, and I think it's sort of like, obviously it gets saturated. Like every YouTuber that tries to be a trader is making videos about this. Just go spend time. What's great, obviously, with the I don't know if the Ninja Trader platform still has.
Right, it looks like it hit some resistance and it'll probably go down.
We have,
where's my good mouse? Where is it?
Just do yourself a favor and
we missed it. We missed the trade. Don't FOMO.
Look at
I'm going to show you what happens, guys, when you FOMO, okay?
With the replay function. Just go weeks and weeks back and I can't
Order
find
filled.
anywhere
Show you what
winning
happens
week
when
on
you
the
FOMO.
NASDAQ using that strategy.
We're pretty much at the
there's different
bottom.
variations from it that would have had a positive week. Or at least a
I
break.
love how those hit the fib zones. I love how
it's got to be so
careful. That's crazy,
Well,
right?
so, I wanted to trade that. Yeah,
So
I'll wait and
are
see
we
what everyone
going
else
to
is doing. That's
gamble
probably when
and
short
get the
here.
FOMO
And depending
correct,
where they put their
or are
stop
we
loss,
going to
maybe
get
they're right
burned?
today,
This
maybe
is
not.
exactly what
But price
happens
did
when we
make a move
FOMO.
up. If it doesn't continue low, these guys might have got
Just
stopped
so you
out.
know.
If it does go higher from here, then I'm going to be trading at the opposite direction. If that makes sense.
So do you look at a higher time frame trend, or you don't care? You'll buy or short it depending on the setup?
Yeah, depending on it. So look, I don't really follow the higher trends. I mean, it's very clear now, as Troy shown there, even going to the daily, that the NASDAQ is flying skywards, right?
Going to the moon.
It's going to the moon. So although things might not be making a lot of sense, in the high time frames, I would prefer to just be bullish, but also being very cautious with price nearing all-time highs on the future side. What's going to happen? Or we can just put those highs, fall short of it, and then see a reversal. Who knows? But I would like to trade to the upside. That's for sure. Today, if I can get a setup.
That's been a common theme in the last couple of weeks. Just careful. Drop risk. Careful. Even more so than normal.
Robert's giving us some comments there. Tiger showed up and showed the second session some love.
Oh, yeah. I was giving Yanni and Paulston.
Oh, you're in the second session as well, yes?
Yeah, I was asking them how, what did I ask? I was asking how the ceasefire, what they thought of it, and
Stop
they said,
filled.
"Stop filled." That was their answer. Just
All
wanted-
right, so we exited.
Was it?
And I had a good idea because they were talking about all the coins. I know Paul does a lot of crypto.
He said tick into his crypto, right?
Yeah, I was like, well, we need a tiger coin. I need a tiger coin. And then they typed in tiger.
You can create yourself meme coins these days on the Solana network, Tiger. I can help you with that. We'll just call it Tiger.
I know nothing about it, so I'd have to have your help.
It's actually really, really easy to do. And then what these guys do is basically create a coin. They get launched on Axiom, which is like a specialist platform that only track newly launched meme coins. You know, these are coins that before they actually get a massive market cap and become something like what's it, Pepe coin, or what's that other one, Shiba Inu, that used to be a meme coin. They don't really have any value, but they all started as meme coins, and you must check it out. I mean,
Axiom,
coins get launched on these platforms, like 5-10 of them every second from across the world, and then some of them will make it from the launch phase. When they reach it, I think 20,000 market cap, they'll go to a pre-market phase, and then they actually go to a launch phase where, I don't know, they can be traded some way. And then what most of these guys do is do rug pulls. So they create these coins, people start investing, buying into it, and you watch these charts, and it's a lot of crap in there, man. There's some of these things they call these coins can be pretty rude.
Yeah. So
and then these charts basically fly, and all of a sudden what the guys do in the background that created them, they do a rug pull or pump and dump. It's the same thing, and they remove all the liquidity of the coin and basically run away with all the money that's been invested in it.
Lost my signal
over and over again. Surely it can't be legal, right? But anyway,
yeah. We don't need SEC beating our door down.
Yeah. Yeah, the
well, didn't the U.S. pass some sort of current crypto legislation that's got some sort of regulation to it?
Yeah, the strategic reserve, was it?
I don't know. I'm not a crypto guy. I have stayed away from crypto. I haven't.
I heard it in the news. Yeah, they basically created a strategic reserve, but yeah, I'm like you. I mean, heck, I never even messed with Bitcoin until probably the last year. I always told people, because I was always asked, have you bought Bitcoin yet? Have you bought Bitcoin yet? I said, no, I don't invest, I trade. So if it ever starts behaving like a fiat currency, then maybe. But and I
bought 3 Bitcoins when they were like at $200.
Yeah. Nice.
And I sort of forgot about it. And I think when Bitcoin was like at $1,000, or I think 15,000, going past $12,000, they were like, hang on, I've got Bitcoin. And turns out the exchange I bought it from either went bust or it was a complete scam. So, you can imagine what that felt like. I thought I made some good bucks, and then it never even existed.
What was the price when you noticed
$200 per Bitcoin?
I mean,
$200.
Did it go higher before you realized you didn't have it, though? Or like, where was it at?
I mean, Bitcoin's now what, over $100,000? Imagine that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, so so many scams involved there. So after that, I was like, no, I'm staying out of it. Not trading Bitcoin. Definitely not buying Bitcoin.
FTX, right? Is that FTX or was that
FTX? Yeah, that was with Sam Bankman-Fried, wasn't it?
Ironically, he's in prison with who was the other guy in there? Was it? I think Diddy. I think Diddy's in there. I think they're in there at the same place. Yeah, I was watching. Because I was watching an interview on YouTube a while back. I can't remember who was interviewing him. Tucker Carlson, maybe, or somebody. Yeah. But yeah, he was talking about that they're in the same day room and everything.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
The high-profile prisoners go to the same spot.
I mean, he got away with billions, but it wasn't just him. I think it was that chick that was with him as well.
Yeah.
Or a whole gang of them. It's like
the nerdy girlfriend.
Nerdy girl with the glasses, yeah.
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 Yeah, and she's still out. As far as I can.
She's still out, yeah. She probably, I don't know, gave some inside info or something.
Yeah.
Made a plea bargain.
Yeah, I think that's what they said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy world.
Well, It's pretty quiet here. I mean, I know I should probably not be looking at the NASDAQ if Troy is also looking at it. I don't know what his feelings are about things, but that's pretty much it. I mean, you can't force trades either. So
Right.
sitting on my hands. Hopefully something happens, and if it does, then I'll react, hopefully in time.
Connection lost.
Maybe things will start heating up as soon as
Lost
Powell starts
connection
speaking. I
for a
mean, it's
sec.
probably 10
What
minutes
happened?
in already.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's
We gotta
pretty
do our
much
work
where
real
I'm at.
quick.
All my alerts are quite a few pips away from where I want to buy or sell. So
Yeah.
just
New
needed
home-
to close the gap.
New home sales were very bad, minus
Were they?
13.7%.
Wow.
That's kind of what we're seeing, that I'm seeing, at least in my neck of the woods, is that real estate's grinding to a stop. The number of days on the market is skyrocketed from a couple of weeks to now we're up to, at least in my area, we're up to 30 days. And I'm in an area that the last housing bubble in 2008 didn't even affect us. It just stopped going up. It didn't go down. Where Tennessee, the southern states, for the most part, with excluding Florida, the southern states are high demand because people are retiring to, cheaper housing, and so
they can't afford it, right?
yeah, we have tons of people coming from California, Texas, New York, New England states are moving to Tennessee to retire because they can sell their $1 million home, in New England, and turn around and buy the same size house for $300,000 here.
Yeah.
And so we have not experienced, but we are starting to see a slowdown in the number of days on the market. That being said, I was going to ask you guys back on the your opening range breakout question. My question is, I've been trying very hard to move from pattern recognition to liquidity recognition.
Yeah.
And what I find is that
So it did go down.
The obvious breakouts, like a opening range breakout or 30-minute or 60-minute breakout, it's such a well-known strategy that you can actually look on your super DOM and see size on the other side.
Yeah.
So above the breakout point, you'll start seeing size, people wanting to sell into that perception of the breakout. And what I end up doing is watching to see what happens. Do they knock the size out? Is there enough liquidity to take out the liquidity on the sell side? And a lot of times, if you wait for that spike through, you wait till it pulls back, you have a much better entry point slightly below the breakout point. And if the trend is your friend, you're gonna make money, but you don't get sucked into that breakout.
Yeah.
The first time it goes through, and you can watch the liquidity shrink. Once they take out the liquidity, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes they go up to that level, and you see all this volume go off, but it doesn't break through, and that's kind of scary. You're gonna there's some resistance there, but if they knock all of it out. And sometimes it'll spike above it because there's no liquidity above it. It'll spike up and come back down. That comeback is more of I see that as a much more viable entry, but I would default to, only doing that on the side of the trend. So if it does the breakout, you wait till it pulls back and then you go long, and start thinking about liquidity, because that's what the big boys are doing. The big boys are playing.
Yeah. What I'm just trying to say there is, like, I'm just trying to find a trade here. Although primarily I'm looking at what's happening liquidity-wise, on the NASDAQ. Now they're going to run liquidity. Some people might call this the engineered buy-side liquidity over here. They run it, manipulation, and then get distribution. So really looking at areas where there might be a lot of stop losses, etc. That might have formed during
So
the
it
London
did
range,
go
the
down
New York
to
morning
where
session,
I thought it would go down to.
and
That's
see what
crazy.
happens
Sorry, guys,
if
we do
those
have
areas get hit.
like
So that's
I
primarily
want this to be my
what I
actual work,
do is look at
but
this
this
type
has
of
to be done this
liquidity
morning.
strategies, right?
Again.
Liquidity sweeps, grabs, or whatever the case may
So
be.
we
Um,
just have to deal with
So that's definitely what I look for on my radar. But I think it was just interesting today to show a little bit about this orb strategy. I think Discord, someone actually asked me about the orb strategy a little while ago. So we active on there from time to time. And I just had to give my 2 cents worth there. I mean, it's probably going to work out today. Me saying that it doesn't work out that often, but yeah, you're 100% right. It's probably better looking at the liquidity side of things. I don't just have the DOM volume here on the NASDAQ, or at least a depth. So, and obviously I execute here on one of the Prime platforms. But yeah, I mean, you're 100% right. I think the way to trade, especially the NASDAQ and perhaps the ES, is to look at the liquidity hunting or draw towards liquidity, that sort of stuff. Pair that with fair value gaps, that sort of thing, which is what I'm trying to do in most cases. But there would have not been any setup here as of yet. Maybe if price can come down, let's say take out this morning session lows here, then give us a bounce to the upside. Maybe inverted fair value gap or bullish fair value gap forming after these lows have been run, then that might be a situation to go long.
I kind of have an answer for just using the master pattern. I mean, just kind of answer, Troy, kind of like what you were talking about. Just as an example, how I would have looked at it had I been watching it this time. You mind if I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So, and this is just going back to yesterday, whenever was that yesterday? Yeah, yesterday, whenever we broke the high from, what was that, February? Let me just click on my share. And so, so yesterday, just going back to that previous high point, we did break that at, what was it, Tuesday at, well, about 2 o'clock my time, 2 p.m. my time. So the way I kind of would have looked at this is with my master pattern, and just as a reminder, it's good on any time frame. So I actually got a little bit of a major contraction right here, okay, before it broke that high. So, I mean, ultimately what I see is price broke down out of the zone, out of the contraction box, and then it broke through, which also broke through that high. So this creates a liquidity line where people are probably putting their stop losses, and this again is on a smaller time frame.
Yeah.
So if you buy here, according to the master pattern, just as an example, you're buying overvalue.
Yeah.
So for me, I would want to buy undervalue, which means I'd want to buy under that line, under that.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of breakout traders there as well.
Right.
Trying to brighter breakout, and we know how that goes, most of the time.
Yeah. And so what happens? Well, price comes up, it catches that. Probably the big banks probably push it right back down to collect this liquidity. They push it down here, create a lower point. But then ultimately what happens is price forms a demand zone on a small time frame, 5 minute. Okay, that's a red candle, but because I have the indicator turned on, that's why it's green looking. But that's the last red candle before a spike through, spike up, and then price comes down, catches the unfilled orders in that demand zone.
Yeah.
And then pushes it right back up. So,
yeah.
Much up, way up. So that's kind of what I love about the master pattern is it just shows me where relative to the time frame I'm on, where's below value, where's above value.
Related. And that's a green horizontal line on your chart, right?
What's that? I'm sorry.
The massive pattern.
Yeah, so that major contraction point and that line just populates all the way across. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Now I can buy anywhere.
You created yourself as well, or is this also?
No, it's just basically kind of been created out of Wyckoff theory. I mean, accumulation, distribution, trend.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know who exactly created it, but it's a free indicator on TradingView. Yeah, you just go on here and just I've got it saved, the master pattern indicator by this guy Vito or whatever you say it. But yeah, you could theoretically just buy anywhere under value.
Yeah.
But I personally like to just buy after it touches a demand zone. So that's why I personally would have, bought right here.
Yeah.
What are you using as your demand zone tool?
It's called MTF S&D order block. So that's another free one. It'll be, where's that? Right. Yeah, right here. Supply and demand order blocks, multi-time frame, JP7FX. Yeah, like I was saying the other day, Monday or Tuesday, I used to just plot them all manually, just eyeball it. But
yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes a little while because the supply and demand zones I have, as well as those fair value gaps. I think Tiger just froze up there.
Oh, am I back?
You're back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's done that twice to me. Sorry about that.
There are some really, really good free versions, that's for sure. But you probably have to go through quite a few of them until you find the one that's that really looks and works well.
Yeah, it does. It just saves a ton of time. Because then you can just go to any time frame and it'll just plot whatever's there. See what I'm saying? But
what is the center? Is that the center line that it's putting out into the future?
Oh yeah. Well, it's just basically putting a rectangle around. If I scroll into it, just as an example, so it's the last down candle before the big move up.
Gotcha.
And then the same thing here, down candle, big move up, and it also needs a little bit of a fair value gap for it to qualify as its own. So like if this candle if that candle right there came back into the zone, it would disqualify it because it's been mitigated. So that's the goal, is not to trade mitigated zones, even though that's what I did yesterday for the gold trade. But I did that because it just barely touched. So I don't know. I'm just pretty picky on it, but yeah, that's basically it. Master pattern, supply and demand.
I'll go check that out for sure.
Yeah.
And Troy, your footprint charts, you want to show us that? We still have some time. Oh, we're already like 22 minutes past.
Time flies with you guys.
Yeah, that's why I like you guys so much.
Good conversations. Flies with everybody. Yanni and Paul flies with them too. Those two are coots. I love them. I love those guys.
Okay. So are you? Let's see. Yeah. All right. So before you say anything, it's a little busy. I know it's a little bit busy, but I have multi-monitor, and what I wanted to do is sort of make it so you could kind of see the scope of what I'm looking at. So this is a footprint chart, and I'll maximize that so we can really see what it's doing and how it's actually going to tell us what is going on. So I don't know if you can actually see the numbers inside the candle, but it differentiates the order flow into executed on the bid, executed on the offer. So if it's on the left-hand side, that means it was executed on the bid. And if it's executed on the bid, that means that you have a passive buyer and an aggressive seller is hitting the bid. That's the only way you get a transaction that happens on the bid, is to have an aggressive seller hitting the bid. Because the buyer is passive in the fact that he's just waiting for his order to be executed, if so. If not, he may increase his bid higher if he really wants a fill, right? He's passive. So this is a way to see the aggression of the market. So the numbers on the left-hand side of a candle are, and if you can see, this may not be the best, but you can see there's a tail here. Yeah. There's a tail, there's the body, there's the wick at the bottom. So you can still see the shape of the candle, but now you can see inside the candle and see how the candle was actually built from a perspective of aggression. This is the delta for the candle, that negative 192. That means if we took all of the aggressive selling, which happens on the bid, we gave that a negative side, a negative for that summation, and with all the volume that happens on the aggressive buying side, which happens on the ask or the offer, that's a positive number, and they net out. And so you get, like, this bar was a down bar and it had a negative 192. And now I think one thing, a lot of beginners that look at this, they don't understand what that negative 192 means. They think it means more sellers than buyers. But as you guys know, you have to have the exact same number of buyers to sellers,
All right, so
because there has to be a transaction,
into the zone.
one buyer to
Let's see
one
what
seller,
happens
right?
here.
Well, this is talking about aggressiveness. There's more aggressive selling than there is aggressive buying. So we're comparing aggression. So I call this my aggression chart, or a behavior-based chart.
Let's hope.
And in my perfect world, I would move from being a time versus price chart to thinking about it as behavior. This is a behavior chart. And what is the behavior? Oh, it's aggressive buying. Therefore, I should go long. Okay, so that's the idea. Now, the reds and the blues
Here we go.
are
baby.
imbalances. So this is letting me know that there is aggressive buying.
Let's get above 2.
And you compare these bid to offer, so they're compared diagonally. And so that 50 there, if you compare it to the 0, obviously that's substantially bigger than the aggressive sellers. There's no aggressive sellers at that point, only aggressive buyers. And we look at ratios, so we want to see that 197 to the 6.
This looks good.
You know, we want to see a 3 to 1 or a 2 to 1 before we make it blue. So we want to see if the behavior is aggressively buying or aggressively selling. And what happens is you are able to then start to see patterns within this.
All right, we're starting to reach above. Come on,
anatomy
come on,
of a
keep
top
going.
or
Oh
anatomy
no,
of a
no,
bottom.
that did not look good. Come on, up.
So as an example, this cell right here, that's a pretty decent sized cell. So you think about this: buy is too expensive. Oh, let's take an opportunity to sell. So they sell. A seller comes in here and starts to sell. We move to the next one, and that sell triggers more selling, and we get a little pullback. We get a little pullback to where it's now a pullback, and then what happens? Buyers come in. There's that blue number right there. Buyers start to come in, and it rotates back to the upside. Now, obviously, it's never going to be perfect, like, you know, and as an example, but you have to learn how to read this flow as I see it as aggression, and who's winning is the aggressive buyers, the aggressive sellers. And where this is not interesting at all in a sideways market. I don't care about any of this. What I care about is when this gets to a support or resistance area, because then I can sit there and you can look in there and see how that's being formed. So if we're at resistance, I want to see sellers coming in.
We were doing good.
And right here at this, I see a buyer there at 210. At 210, but you know, I don't know if this is a 6155 is a special number.
You weren't paying attention. Why did you trade that?
Obviously an inflection point of some sort.
We need to ask.
But you're not seeing buyers come in. There's no blue numbers here at the top trying to push it through. That would be a sign of weakness.
Not the smartest thing to do.
If I see this right there is the first kind of chink in the armor.
We did
at 236 sell.
Here would be
now
a
we don't really
see
any aggressive selling come in until we get to this bar. Then we have 1, 2. There's 3 sell imbalances.
I mean, it could still go up.
And you start to see it start to move more aggressively to the downside. We're just moving sideways, so again, it's hard to give you a good example in real time. But that's the idea: is that you can actually see buyers come in at the top of a candle or sellers come in at the top of the candle. Obviously, if you're looking for a breakout trade, we want to see buyers coming in, right?
Yeah.
I want to see blue up here at the top. If I start seeing
These
red
wicks
numbers
here
up
just
here,
made me
I know
really
that
feel
it's going
this
to
wick
start.
right here made me
It
feel
may be
like
starting
we
to
were gonna go up.
turn over
Okay.
to come down. Any questions?
Yeah, that. Sorry, I don't
Still
know if you
makes me feel
covered
like
that,
we're
but
going
the what's those histograms in the bottom indicator panel?
So this is self-made. This is secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
Secret sauce.
We gotta pay him for that.
Okay, but I'll give you the concept behind it. So,
Please do.
so this is volume, and what it's doing is it's looking at the previous 3 bars, and it says how much once I get to twice as much, and twice as much can be of any of the previous 3 bars. I highlight in magenta, just showing me that there's just a volume spike. Volume spikes many times signal tops or bottoms. And you can see that this spike here was the bottom. Just like this little spike here was the top. Okay, I'm not making this up, and this is not, all you have to do is have a volume tool at the bottom and you can see this. Now the shaded part means that I am overvalued or undervalued based on an oscillator, and I use for this oscillator I use MFI. I don't know if you've heard of MFI. Yeah, money flow index. Now most people, and for you guys that trade Forex, you don't want MFI because MFI has a volume component, and we know that Forex doesn't care about volume. And doesn't report volume because there's no centralized, place for that trading. You want to use RSI or stochastic that's 100% price based on its inputs. So I use MFI because I want volume information because I'm an order flow junkie here, and I'm using MFI as my oscillator to give me an overbought, oversold. And so you can see I get a volume spike, and then I went to overbought. I get a volume spike, and I went to oversold. So this sort of gives me a one-stop shop, kind of where are we, based on a short-term oscillator, overbought or oversold, as well as a spike in volume. Now this spike in volume is nothing. It's, this is 3,000 contracts. This is a 30-second chart. So it's pretty extreme when you go to, I'm looking at the flow, somebody's pouring, and I'm looking at every single little drop that's being poured out to see if there's an increase of volume or not, and if that's associated with a price change, and or a flow of aggression.
So those gray boxes you have, are those the highest concentration of volume within that candle?
Yes, that would be, I call it, for lack of a better term, a COT. It's like a POC, okay, right? The concept of a POC is the price, highest volume price of the day is a POC, point of control.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so it's the same concept. It puts a gray area as the highest volume within the candle. So POC, I changed it to COT just so that it was candle versus P. So you can name it anything you want, but it's the high volume price within the candle. So it's technically the POC of the candle. So yeah, and what you can do is you start looking at this. You can actually, I've got software that allows me to make a moving average of the POC of each candle, which kind of is a different way of looking at things because you're not looking at price, you're looking at price and volume to give you a moving average.
So I would imagine scalpers really like this.
I don't know how you can scalp without it. With one exception, this Richard will enjoy this. Okay, so I'm gonna minimize this screen, and I'm gonna go to NASDAQ. Okay, NASDAQ. Make this much bigger so we can look at it and see. You're going to see the problem with a footprint candle. Okay, so we put it here. Do you see the problem?
Yeah.
There's
Talk.
no volume, small numbers, and it's all over the place. So I do not use, I actually don't look at the actual numbers in here. I look at the deltas alone.
Okay.
So I'm more interested in the delta versus the reds, because you can have zeros and lots
So
of
were we
zeros,
right?
and so you get skewed number of blues and reds.
Mhm. So what's the delta telling you there now? Pushing higher, obviously. You can see that on the chart, but
Yeah,
they're
and
more buy stepping in, right?
yeah, and the more, and you would play, the way I would play this as a scalper, if I would actually turn off, I'll show you, I can do this real quick. I would turn off the black numbers and just show the blues. You just show the blues and the reds.
Well, and you could also alter the height or the height of that too, right? Like to where it only shows a smaller amount of numbers for like a wider area, I think.
You can. Hang on, I can't think
Too
and do this at
soon.
the same time. Yeah, take this and go to transparent. And what that'll do is just show me, it should just show me the reds. Yeah, the reds and the,
Oh,
that starts making it a little more
easier on the eyes.
Yeah. So it's not bouncing all over. You're more interested in how many, is there a lot of red? Is there a lot of blue? And then of course the delta then shows you, what the net action of that bar was, negative 119, we're at +8, it's bouncing. And that's the problem with footprint, is it does not deal with low volatility, high volatility and low volume. It just doesn't translate very well.
Okay.
So that's kind of the downside to the footprint chart. And obviously a footprint chart is very difficult to manage if you're trying to trade a stock, because the stock trades in fractions of a cent, and that messes up the increments that it's plotted. So it doesn't work very well with stocks as well. Now, I want to roll this by you guys, because you guys are going to find this particular thing is highly, I don't know anybody else has thought of this, and I'm not sure it means anything. So my brain, this is a cumulative delta of the ES. So the ES net delta for the day is 3,700 contracts, okay? This is the NASDAQ. So net on the day, we've added, 532 contracts have been added to the inventory overall. Now, obviously, if you know anything about inventory, to go up, we really need positive inventory. We need to be adding to inventory, and vice versa. If the market's going down, we should be contracting inventory. As people are selling and closing their contract, the contract disappears. Okay, when you buy, you create a contract. Now you're long. However, this line here in the middle is a MFI of,
I think we're gonna take another hit.
Cumulative
right now.
delta.
We are.
So it's running an oscillator on top of the cumulative delta. Now, what does that mean? I have no idea. Mathematically, I can't tell you what that what it means. Academically, I do not know what that means. But it's really, really interesting to watch as it goes overbought or oversold.
I was just going to say, the overbought and oversold sort of coincides with, especially during the morning session when that starts, with little swing highs and lows, right?
It can. Remember, this is per candle, the net. So price could be going, this is not price. This is just the amount of contracts that are going back and forth, whether they're increasing inventory or decreasing inventory, right? And so then you turn around and put an oscillator on it. But yes, in general, price follows inventory. And that's the key, is that price follows inventory. So inventory, so when you get to a top, you start to see the buyers slow down, right? So they're not adding contracts, and you may actually start to see selling where price hasn't started reacting to the selling. You're seeing selling where inventory starts to contract,
Come on,
but
man.
price hasn't reflected that. Okay, so that's where this concept comes in. That's why I've thrown this up there and I've played with this,
Very
but I don't
cool.
know. I don't know what it means. Okay.
So
Well, currently it looks like it's just like what the market's
Cancel.
doing, right?
What the
Running
freak
sideways.
are you doing, man?
Yeah.
So basically up top, they're playing hot potato. They're throwing it back and forth. And on the bottom, they threw the potato, but it fell to the ground.
Yes.
We did
So
That's
what
the
this
way
is,
my brain sees it.
and what the cumulative delta tells me is that if I'm going to short today, I'm going to short NASDAQ because it's obviously weaker than the ES. The ES is still from high to where we are. It's still negative, right? It's still, I mean, it's going down overall, even though the number is positive. So anyway, I thought you guys would be interested because this is like some kind of a weird mad
Stop, Phil.
mathematician stuff.
Stop, Phil.
Yeah.
You know,
Now
that
it
you might
goes?
enjoy
Seriously?
seeing this
I
because
like how you think out of the box, Troy, for sure.
and I would love to hear comments at some point of the math behind this and what it actually means.
Well, I gotta say, I hate math, but I had an A+ in geometry because I like patterns, which is probably
Oh,
why
look
I
at
like
that spiking
trades.
up now. Jeez. Sorry.
Yeah, that's going to give me something new to study.
So the
We all
cumulative,
learn.
just remember that the cumulative delta is the purest form of order flow, as you're seeing the buyers overwhelming the sellers and vice versa. You know, this big spike, that's pure. I mean, and a lot of times this may be a algo that's just spiking. And you know, we went from, and they added, you know, 1,800 contracts, boom, just like that.
Yeah.
And that's with selling. That's with selling, right? So that's the net. That's the net action. Now, this could be a news event. Yeah, so that's what the cumulative delta is really. I have to see it. I'm looking at it all the time to see, because to me it's telling you what is the overall premise, what's going on. Well, at the moment they're buying. Buying is, I mean, even if you go back to 930 and draw a line, it's going up, right?
Yeah.
So the premise here is that it is bullish. But on NASDAQ, notice that on NASDAQ we didn't have that same spike.
Yeah.
So, you know, NASDAQ's not buying into whatever this was for the S&P. Now, maybe that's just an algo, and this is a, you know, a spike where you're going to play reversion to the means, short it, and it'll come right back down to where it was. But, you know, this is telling me that the NASDAQ is definitely more negative. It did not spike on that. It should have spiked. They should have been very similarly correlated, and they weren't. Anyway, I know we're about to run out of time, but I wanted to show you guys that. And the next time we're together, if you have a chance to think about it, I'd love your feedback as to whether
like to see it again,
whether
Troy.
this whole concept is bullshit or not, right?
Well, there's got to be something to it.
Well, when I'm definitely going to ask you to show me that again if we together again in the morning. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different, you know, when you take all the order flow into consideration, you're looking at aggression versus, you know, buying aggression versus selling aggression, and it all boils down to behavior. And whether it's an algo that's doing it or it's the retail traders that's doing it, doesn't really matter. The key here is that there's behavior, and we know that behavior is predictable.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, we can predict behavior. If we know the behavior is buying, we know there'll be further buying. You know, humans and algos are predictable. You just have to be able to, you know, figure it out.
Spot them.
Spot them.
Know how they behave.
So that was
when
my
are you guys back on again? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm on the same time all week. That's where they put me.
Perfect.
You won't see me till next week. I just do Tuesdays and Thursdays, or Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and you might see me if we're in that meeting tomorrow. But
okay, cool.
hopefully we'll see
Well,
what
James, we did reach the end of the session. Thanks so much again for your inputs, your wisdom. I really
Good
appreciate
stuff.
that. And we'll check out those charts of yours again, Troy. Very interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, it gave us homework.
I,
Good one.
and I'm okay with you saying, dude, you're an idiot.
I just need to see it more. This was the first time. So
Okay.
all right, guys. Thanks so much to all of you. Thanks for watching. Please stick around for our next round of coaches, and I'll be back tomorrow. I'll see you again in the morning with Tiger, and we'll see you hopefully back next week again, Troy, back in
Mystery guest.
session with us. So
All right.
all the best from our side. Take care, guys, and goodbye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, now we're back. Kind of just did the same thing that we just did, is just jump in a trade without freaking. So twice we lost a trade because we were working and we seen something that we thought was a thing and we lost. And it's likely this is going to happen again because we just seen it come down, hit this line, didn't wait for it to confirm that this is what the deal is. So now we're just basically got a gamble trade going on. Let's look at this pattern. It just decided it wasn't going to make it down like this, so we should probably get out, but we're gonna just stay in the trade because let's just say over the overall minute though, it looked like we didn't. Now, if this breaks above this and stays above that, we're probably toast. Essentially, we're FOMOing or not being smart. Like, we're not following our thing, and now I don't know why we just did it for a third time. Let's just say that. We just did it 3 times. We were positive 10 here, and that means 20. 30, 40. We were doing really good in our trades. Most of our stuff were great. Most of our stuff was actually really good. We were like 400 into profit here. Ridiculous that we just didn't confirm what the situation is. Volume wise, if we could take a look at volume somewhere that has real volume. I don't trust this volume, honestly. I don't really know why. It just is. It's different from every other single volume that we look at. And yeah, this looks like it's gonna fail. I don't know why we did it. I'm a little upset right now. We should have put our stop loss here to minimize that loss, because now we're gonna have like one trade. We're gonna hope that this was a fail right now. We're gonna hope that this is a fail. And it comes screaming down now. That's actually what we're gonna hope for. We're hoping and praying. Oh, beautiful, come on. Scream down. Oh my gosh, please just no. Just keep going down. If it breaks this high, we're pretty much toast. Like, basically what's happening is it's coming down. Let's look at this over time. the start. Came up, broke up and down. Oh, we're about to get jacked right now. Come on, man. We got one more loss and then we're at max loss for the day. Come on. These really low win days kind of hurt us in that, and we should have just stayed with the low win, especially when we just took like 3 trades that was just not it. We just broke our strategy, and we're probably going to lose this trade right now too. And we're going to be done for the day on this account, which kind of sucks if I'm
Mr. Gallo, Mr. Paul, how's it going, guys?
Are we calling me PP again now?
No. We with your permission, Paul G, can we
That's
call you
ridiculous,
Gallo?
man. That's
Well, oh, you are muted.
a little upset about that. I'm not gonna
Perfect.
lie.
Sorry. Great to see everybody. And
We're gonna
yes,
go ahead and
perfect.
take a trade
Gallo,
on our
I'm
Order
very
filled.
used to
account
that,
because
so-
we're
Order
just
filled.
upset.
Gallo, yeah.
Not gonna lie.
That sounds like you've done something wrong, right? Gallo, come here.
Yes. It won't be the first time. So
Great stuff. How's your week been, man?
for me, it's been great for me. I've been
So
juiced
this
up
is
this
a perfect
week,
example. Do
particularly the
not
trading
trade
front's
in
been
the middle of doing
fantastic.
something
The,
else. Personally, I think
S&P
actually the
500's
still
been
is going to
treating
go
me very
down, and I don't
well.
know why I took the long
Nice.
But
trade.
unlike today, where I just haven't even done anything today. Today's been so dead in the S&P 500, as you might have seen. We've been in a 10-point range now for about an hour and a half, and probably because of the Powell
All right, we gotta
testimonies
go
still
to
going
work.
on and everything, and
Peace,
everybody's
all
just
the
kind of sitting
loves.
on their hands.
See you
so
later. That's
See.
what happens. Don't
Yeah.
mess up.
Well,
Don't take the bad trades.
Paul
Don't do
had
it.
placed a number of trades this week.
Don't
And,
FOMO trades. Don't
So have
just
I.
jump
So
in.
I think
That's it.
you're not